Hi, Fashion Dolls. Again, it is Thankful Thursday, September 12th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. If you guys have not, I'm going to encourage you guys to get out and get registered to vote for Kamala Harris. Harris Walls 2024. If you are not registered to vote, go to vote.org and get registered to vote. It is imperative because this election is very critical. It's a lot on the line right now. The stakes are very, very high. So, let's get into today's show, Fashion Dolls, with our very special guest, Phil Loft. I had to come out and then come back in. I had the same problem yesterday with Andre. But let me add my very special guest to this live so that we can get right into it. A big shout out to all of y'all, Fashion Dolls. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Let me see. There we are. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I am doing wonderful. How are you? It's been a minute, stranger.
I know it's been a while. It's been a while, a minute, but I'm doing good. I'm managing, I'm blessed, I'm grateful.
I'm pretty sure you've been receiving all the love I've been giving you. I have been shouting you out majorly in every one of my interviews. And I say your voice is like Sade's because the mirror comparisons between the two
Facts,
are so
facts.
similar
Yeah, thank
and eerie.
you.
It's scary, but it's amazing that you two mirror each other's voices. Your voices are very relaxing. Shadi has a tone like none other singer. You have a tone like none other singer. And I told Kendra about you at the end of my interview. She's like, "Girl, who is this guy you talking about? Sound like Shadi?" I said, "Phil Loft." And I sent her one of your performances that you did, and she's like, "Oh my God, he does sound like it." Vontae, the same way. So how does it feel to get all your flowers from all of these other artists out here as well too? And this is our second interview, by the way, you guys.
It is, and more interviews to come. I'm happy to
Yes.
support and come on the show and just be part of your growth as well. So I'm happy for you and I'm proud of you. So keep it going. Never stop. Um,
I sure.
Yeah, but it feels really good. It feels very like this it's confirming for me to have the support that I'm getting from other artists and even other people, other walks of life who don't even know me. And when they see me perform live, they're like it's very welcoming. It's very welcoming, it's very rewarding. It's fulfilling my spirit. So I'm very grateful and blessed and humble by the love. So I just keep doing. I think what it is I stay on purpose and I make sure my intentions are pure when I perform and when I do music. It's not to be famous, it's not to be getting attention or to validate myself or anything like that. It's more if I'm validating anything, it's the spirit above to make sure I'm on track. And whenever I do something that's in line with my spirit and in line with my purpose, I I get it back and it feels like amazing, amazing. So to get my flowers from Kendra, Vante, to other artists who I've connected with, in really the past few months, it's been very rewarding, and I'm just gonna continue to do what I do. I'm gonna not stop and just continue to perform, create music. Um, yeah, I'm never gonna stop.
And look at the comments. You're getting so much love. I'm gonna give you guys your shout outs while you're here, Fashion
Hey,
Dolls.
thank you
Hi,
guys
Nali.
so much.
Well, hello, sister. You look amazing. Thank you, Melanie and Alamar Bridges. I've been enjoying it. It's New York Fashion Week, so you guys know
Yes,
I've had to change it up throughout the weeks and do different looks. My brother K Took says I love Phil's voice too.
thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate
Hey,
it.
Deshaun. Deshaun says he asked the question: When, well, what age did you start singing?
I started to sing. Well, I was in choir in elementary school, middle school, high school, but I really developed wanting to sing or start singing on my own. Oddly enough, maybe around high school, wanted to be a soloist and really tap into that. I wasn't confident. I just knew I had something, but I didn't know exactly what I was gonna do. I was dancing first. I was a dancer first. I was into hip hop, choreography, eight counts, and I still am, but it's gonna come back in its own way. But music, singing was my first thing to really lean into and just to to delve into and never stop. And I really got serious, like into releasing my own music after college, after I graduated 510 college. So, yeah.
Now, if I had to put you, Kendra, and Vontae in elements, I told Kendra, I had her laugh, and I said her voice is like cognac on a cool summer day. It's
That's
smooth.
true.
Her voice is
Yes.
smooth. Vontae has the spice,
Hmm.
and yours is just soft, mellow. It's like a breeze. Sade is like a breeze, and she said that Sade was also one of her influences as well too musically. So everybody has their own
Hmm.
element. And Russ just said it best in the comments that your voice is very smooth.
Thank you,
So how does
Russ.
it feel? You're taking in all this love. Now you did a cover for Sade's "Is It a Crime?" That's one of my favorite singles, and I had to break out her greatest hits album for you. But oh my God, when I seen your cover, word for word, eerie, canny, and then I went back and I listened to her perform it, and I'm just like, wait a minute, Phil. So, what was the crowd's reaction at the end of it? At what did the crowd say when you got up there and you performed that song? What did they
Um,
walk up to you and say?
honestly, I performed at that event. That was, I think I was open to all entertainment, I believe, which is I suggest you go there. It's super fun. It's in Brooklyn. They have Vogue battles and stuff, and I happened to do the pre-show. And the funny thing is, I performed. That was my fourth time performing there, I believe, and I think that was the best like reaction I've gotten. Um, I think for one because the song is familiar, and it was the first time I did a cover song there and people like familiarity. They want to see what you can do with other people's songs. So I said, let me do something different. Let me do Is It a Crime? Only because too, I wanted to show my range and I wanted to show my power. And people ate it. Like even the first the first verse of the song, people was clapping already and was like hollering. I'm like, okay, I think I got something going. So it gave me more confidence into, not that I was gonna stop, but I just like, okay, I think they eating it up. They eating it up. So when I finished, people was walking up to me and it felt really nice. It felt really nice. And at that point, from there on, I'm incorporating that song on my set for wherever I perform at. Like I'm performing this Saturday at a Ojama Fest, which is happening in Wyandanch on Long Island, and I'm gonna sing that song there. So um, that song is gonna be a staple in my set. If you're gonna see me perform, I'm singing that song. I'm singing the hell of that song. So
And then you also did a cover to Jezebel, which is another Sade song from her greatest hits
yeah,
album. You killed that one as well
thank you
too.
so
So
much.
what is the crowd's reactions? I know what the crowd is like, but they walk up to you after the show because your voices are so mirror. And then there's another guest that sounds like another iconic singer, Mark Angel.
Oh
I'm
wow.
pretty sure you've heard him. Sounds exactly like Michael Jackson. Laugh is spot on, and I told Kendra this as well too. So I'm just like, it's scary because it's like you're a living, breathing reincarnation of the original artists themselves.
Right.
And music touches people in different ways. So, what has been some of the reactions of people from after your shows or watching your videos, or and then Vanishing Point, which we're going to talk about
Oh
as I
Lord.
loved it. It's single.
Yeah.
So, what has been the reactions from people
Uh,
coming up to you, listening to your
like
music, and the
they
impact?
tell me they tell me like they how I relax them for the most part. Like my voice is so relaxing, it's so soothing. Um, and I think that was my initial mission. I'm more of a relaxing, calm, laid back,
Yes.
loungy type of artist. I mean, I love dance, I love the up tempo beats, and I love the twerk vibes too. But for Phil Loft is more when you're finished work, you want to get in your car and listen to my stuff, or you want to listen to my voice, and that's what people say. A lot of people, someone tried to call me. Actually, the funny thing is, okay, a producer just tried to call me, and yeah, it's a producer who I have another video on. I'm just breaking up that story real quick. I have another producer that I did a song that I posted on Instagram, a full set of. I don't know if you saw it, but it's called Thinking About Love. And it's an amazing song. So that's on my Instagram too. I did the full upload of that, which is in the same realm. But okay, back to the subject. When people tell me that my song's relaxing and it resonates with them, and in a sense of they want to just chill out and they don't want to think about stress or they just decompress, that is my mission, you know, as an artist. I think that, and I, I, I relate that to Sade because that's what she did for me as
Yeah.
a young person in middle school. Because that's when I first saw her. I saw her at age 11, I believe. And she did the Lovers Rock tour, and I knew of her because my mom and my grandmother played her around the house. But when I saw her, I was like, like this is what I need to do, right? So then I was just studying her sound. I was studying her music. I was singing her songs every day after school. And the thing was, I was going through a lot in middle school. I was being bullied. People was picking on me because of how I dressed, which I dressed more of like a punk rocker type. Hot Topic was my store. I wasn't dressing in like jeans and I didn't have my pants going down my butt type. I was dressed like a punk rocker, and I'm LGBTQ. I was more
Right.
flamboyant about it too. So it was like I was getting attacked on a lot of different levels. So coming home, I would just put on Sade, and I was just like, I'm okay. I can live. I can. So that's what I wanted to do for people. And when people tell me that's what I do for them, it's like, okay, I'm on something. I'm doing my job. I'm doing what God put me on earth to do, and I'm listening. I'm obedient, and I'm staying consistent, and I'm not stopped. So yeah, that's where it's at for me. I love
That's
when people tell
impact.
me that. Yeah,
And I'm looking at the comments. Look at her. Hi,
yeah,
back again. She said, just checked out her page. Love cruise control. And wow, it's chill vibes.
yeah. Cruise Control. That was my most recent single. You mentioned Vanishing Point too that you wanted to talk about. And
Yes.
I'm just gonna jump real quick. Vanishing Point and Cruise Control, although they're so different, they are like sibling. I call them sibling singles to each other in a weird way.
Mhm.
They're really talking about the same thing but different, but they're still like related to each other. So that's how I look at music sometimes. Some certain songs are just they're just like siblings, you know. One is female, one is male, or they can be either both male or female, but they're just siblings. For some reason they're related, you know. So
And it has a powerful impact. Your music is not only sexy and relaxing, but it takes you to an element. And like you said, it makes you feel good. And I tell people this quote all the time from Nina Simone. She says this um, the artist's job is to reflect the times. So you reflect the times that we're in, and I told Kendra this. Kendra's like, well, I just want to sing. I want to make people feel relaxed. When I did my interview with her,
mm,
and that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to make us feel good. In a way, musicians are like doctors. You guys are ministering medicine to
mm,
us, and you
wow,
make us feel good. It can be in whatever element. You guys already know my favorite album is the Mary J. Blige My Life album. That is literally the soundtrack to my life. If not that one, then Brandy's Full Moon. If not
mm,
Brandy's Full Moon, then The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. If not The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, then I would have to say what's another one? Oh, I'm thinking. Rihanna's Rated R because she was in a place where it's just like, okay, I'm trying to get out of this dark space. How do I
mm,
get out? I want to scream. I feel angry. I feel all of these different emotions. And an artist is supposed to take you on a roller coaster ride. You're supposed to have your highs, your lows, your mountains, your valleys, your peaks. And the listeners, us, the listeners, the consumers, take that in, and we're just like, wow, this is personal.
yeah,
This is really deep.
yeah,
I can feel it.
wow, that's what's up. That's what's up. It's funny when you mention now you're mentioning bodies of work that you can you think about that's like a chapter in your life or
Oh yeah.
something that you can remember like oh like I remember this point in my life and how it got me through this and like I listened to Janet Jackson's Velvet Rope. That's one of the top
Yeah.
albums. I love
I
Janet
was
Jackson. I'm a Janet fan too. Like that's another person who influenced me heavily on a on a scale of just live performance and stage presence. I love her stage presence. I love her performances. I love her music, of course. But when I watch the Velvet Rope tour, Oh For You tour, I like pick and like I'm like, okay, this is what I have to do, or this is how you stand, or this is how you just, just make yourself known on stage and be confident and just own it. Just like Michael Jackson, he's like he's the Bible of performance, you know. And you mentioned Brandy too. Brandy for me, Aphrodisiac got like it was like that album, and this to me so underrated. But that album, every song on there, you just no skip, you know. And then of course Aaliyah, her last album before her passing, God bless her soul. That she's another artist that and it's funny, her Aaliyah and Sade have the same birthday, same exact birthday. So that kind of blew my mind a little bit when I found that out. So yeah, I felt that all the way with the body of work being influenced in your life, like a chapter in your life that got you through. So I resonate with that 100%. And that's what I want to do with other people when I create my album, because I haven't released an album yet, and I'm working towards that. And hopefully have a nice production, a tour. That's my next thing, And I'm kind of the funny thing is I'm kind of glad that I didn't make it yet, because when I do, I'm gonna appreciate it more because I'm not there yet. But when I get there, I feel like I'm gonna be more present in the moment because I know what it took to get there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just really appreciating every single moment I'm getting a performing at events here and there, and then building to my own show or my own release parties. Like it's all a map to get to a bigger place for myself, but to
Yes.
appreciate those moments as an artist and as for growth, So yeah, I'm enjoying the ride right now.
Let me get to some of you guys' comments. My brother K2 said, "Oh yeah, I love Never Say Never." Now I forgot about that one.
That's another
She's had
one.
so many.
Yeah, never say
Um,
never. Yeah.
Deshaun says yes, we sure did talk about Aaliyah. He did an AI image of her, looked exactly like her, and then I put the photo beside it of her original photo of her. So yes, Aaliyah, we definitely talked about her. Brandy, I Want to Be Down is pure fire. Kendra did talk about her Human album.
Mm,
That's a good album
that's
too.
a good
That's a great piece of work.
album.
Janet Jackson, and you guys know how much of a Janet fan I am. Music is pure emotion, just as poetry is.
Mm,
That's why I do spoken word. Kendra says, "What Now?" song is my inner song. That's one of my favorites from her too. And then she has a song on the Rated R album called Photographs. So it's different emotions. Like I said, different valleys, different peaks, different roles
hmm
on every single album.
Yeah.
Um, an artist takes you on a journey, and it's just like you're reading a book, you're telling a story,
Right.
and that
Right.
story resonates with the listeners. You could be going through a breakup, you could be
Oh.
going through anything, and it's just like you put a song on, and that song will be like, okay, I'm gonna get through this, I'm gonna get through this. You can put it on the clean and do whatever you do, but that's what art and artist's job is to do, is to reflect what a person is going through,
Mm,
and then they might know someone else who goes through it as well too, and it resonates with them in some sort of way. So those key components you pick out. People have slept on Shanice's music. Oh yeah, she's another one that's underrated. Another underrated artist that I feel that people have slept on to is Shantae Moore.
Chante Moore.
I, I don't know any other female artists besides Minnie Riperton, Dawn Robinson from In Vogue, who's another one. Uh, Shanice, they can all hit the F7 whistle notes
hmm
and go all the way up there. Lisa Fisher is another one
Lisa
too.
Fish
Like
too.
she underrated.
Yeah.
Lisa Fisher, Diana, is it Diana? I think it is Diana King is another one. They all can go up here,
hmm
and they're underrated. They don't get their flowers or just do. So
True.
there's a lot of artists out here. We don't talk enough about Jasmine Sullivan. I
Jasmine
mean,
Sullivan.
I
She
talked about
definitely.
Sprite. She is definitely the hot sauce that you need, and get what Beyonce said, the hot sauce that you need in your bag. She gives you that. Very soulful.
Mm,
Very soulful.
yeah. Yeah. I totally agree. Totally agree.
There's a song for every mood. I have a go-to song when I'm angry. It gets my aggression out. Yes, and
Mm?
for the artist, while they're sitting there releasing and recording the song, that was going to be my next conversation for you, Phil. When you're in the studio, when you're in the booth, or writing your song, what's running through your mind? Because I know
Um,
for a lot of artists sitting there and record, I remember, who was it? It was Tony Braxton. She said she almost didn't record "Unbreak My Heart." The song was so sad for her, she almost didn't
mm,
record it. So when you're in that booth and you put those headphones on and you got the producers out there and they're doing their thing, mixing and mastering the song,
mhm.
you, the artist, you're in the booth and you're writing and you're making changes, you're editing or whatever. What's running through your mind?
Well, the process for me, because before I get in the studio, um, I'm not even the song is already finished. Like the song is already the foundation of the song is laid out, and uh I'm ready to record the song. So when I write the song first, I'm home. I'm like where I'm at right now. This is where I'm writing the song. I'm creating the song on my laptop through GarageBand with a loop, a loop of my choice, and what goes through my mind is whatever emotions I felt in the past, I want to say 5 months to a year. So I'm allowing myself to sit, I'm allowing myself to marinate in whatever emotions I had in the last 5 years to 5 days of my life. And what am I going to write about? Because I can't say what I'm going to write about in a moment because it's not going to happen for me. It just doesn't work like that. Um, I have to just be like, okay, what happened in the last 5 days to 5 years, whether it's a toxic relationship, which me and Kendra talked about, because me and Kendra spoke yesterday, because we're gonna collaborate soon, and we talked about like relationships, like what would be what would we talk about, be collaborated, and I'm like saying to myself, okay, and I had to think about it, and I'm like, okay, let me think about my emotions or what I went through in the last 5 days to 5 years of my life, and I use five because five is a special number for me. Um, so that's how I create a song. And then when I write the first, let's say, verse, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be the theme of the song, whether it's mad, angry, sadness, or more seductive and sultry and sexy, or more free, carefree vibes. So it really depends on those first few words I put down on that paper. Or whereas I really use my notes on my phone. Because my handwriting is so sloppy, I can't read my stuff. It's like, because I write so fast when I think I might want to get it down. So lately I've been typing on the notes on my phone. And then that kind of gives the foundation of what my emotions are going to be for the entire song, whether it's angry or sad. Then the thing is, you have to lean into that emotion, and
Oh,
you have to stay there. You're like the build up, and how do I end the song, or and it's all fine, but then you have to let it go a little bit and then go back to it, and if it resonates, then it's a go. And a lot of the songs lately, they've been resonating only because lately the songs I've been writing are more of a carefree vibe, having a good time. I'm single. I'm living my life. I was in a relationship. I'm been single for about a year and some months. So I'm just enjoying being single and free and just having a good time. And that's like where I'm at. But I can also go back into like when I wrote like the song Vanishing Point. I wrote
yeah.
that song when I was with my ex. I was with my ex for 3 years, and he was married. Okay, and I was like the side piece to that situation. So I'm letting y'all know some tea a little bit, but I was in that situation for 3 years, and I didn't know until I found out, and I stayed. Um, and he was very controlling. It was a very toxic situation. I'll just say that. So I wrote about Vanishing Point. That's how Vanishing Point came about, was through that. And I wanted to vanish. I just wanted to leave. And I did. That song really empowered me to leave because I was in the midst of that situation still. And I was fantasizing about disappearing. And I said, how am I going to get out of this situation? And
Mm.
that song really walked me through my exit. And that's what I did. And that's why. the song, even I can sing it now, and I can use it for other things too. Whether it's friendships, you can use that for a friendship, like you want to end a friendship, or you want to just vanish from a situation that's a toxic work environment, or a family member that's being toxic towards you, and you just want to just leave and just not talk to them ever again. And I try to make songs where they're flexible for the mind. It's not really centered
Yes.
on one thing, a person or he or she. Anybody can relate to it and they can use it for whatever they're going through. It's universal, and that's why I say, like, I make music for the world and the universe, and I truly do. It's truly a quote that I came up with, and I stick to it because I make sure my stuff is universal and not just for, let's say, LGBTQ or straight or
Yeah.
black or white. It's
For everybody.
for everybody to enjoy and to relate to and resonate and have an impact on, whether it's positive or negative, dealing with their emotions, whether good or bad, you know? So yeah, a lot of my songs are just created from when I make that first two lines, and that's when I know, okay, that's the emotion I'm going with. If it's happy, I'm gonna stick to that. If it's sad, okay, let me lean into what am I feeling sad about, or what I felt sad about, and I just want to confront it through this song. So yeah,
Let me read some of you guys' comments. I'm interacting and engaging in this conversation. This conversation is so good.
yeah,
Kendra says, yes, the beat has to vibe with the theme and your emotion. She
period.
says you can have a great beat, but the words mean so much to people that can relate to them.
That's
And
true.
she also says that your test is a testament. My brother K-Tooks, y'all already arranging collaborations in here. My brother K-Tooks said, I think that Phil and Kendra need to make a Eric Benet and Tamia type of record. I can see that.
Right.
I can see that.
Okay, okay. We
I
brewing up
don't know what
something.
they talk about behind the scenes. I don't know if they're, I don't know. Phil, you care to spill or
Oh
Kendra?
well, me and Kendra, we're still brewing because this is very fresh, but we're going mid tempo with it. A little bit more of a vibey but tempo-ish thing. Not so no, not so ballady, but I think that's the direction. She's giving me I see it's just emoji. I'm not
So we
giving
have
away
to
too
stay
much,
tuned.
Kendra. I'm not giving away too much. Don't worry, sis. I got you. I got you. But it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be really, really sweet. I'm looking forward to it. I just love, what? I never thought that I would be so open and willing to collaborate like I am right now. And I had to get to this point because I realized it has to make sense. And working with Kendra makes sense. There's another artist. Her name is Danielle Diaz. I just met her, and I'm seeing her tomorrow. She wants to collaborate with me, and it makes sense because she has a certain sound. And I'm like, okay, I can see the vision. I can feel the vision. So with these two amazing artists, it's like, okay, I can feel it. I can feel it in my blood and my spirit that it's gonna be dope. It's gonna feel right to me. So, I don't want to spill too much, but I know it's gonna feel right. It's gonna feel right to the ear. It's gonna feel right to the soul when you hear it. So,
You have to stay tuned. There's your answer. You
yep.
definitely have to. I knew it was coming. I kind of predicted that you guys were going to collaborate because your voice is very soft, very relaxing. And
Hmm.
it makes me think about Mariah Carey and Brandy when they teamed up to do one of Mariah's songs. And Brandy went in the booth, did her thing. Mariah went in the booth and did her thing.
Right.
And then the end result, it's scary because the vocals sound so similar,
Mm,
like
mm.
they echo each other. It's
Yeah.
hard to tell who's who because they sound so similar with that very soft, airy tone and texture. So I could see this collaboration, and I
Yeah.
can't wait to see what you guys are coming out with. So I'm gonna go through because you've given us so many amazing hit singles from True Love to Believe to Vanishing Point uh, to what's
Yeah.
another one? Adore. You've given us so
Oh, the
many. Out of all of
door.
those singles, which one has to be your favorite if you had to
Oh
choose?
my God. Okay. The most one though. Okay, so oh my God, that's a good one. I just released Cruise Control. Cruise Control happens to be. I like to listen to that when I'm driving and then when I'm working out. So I go to the gym a lot. Um, I put that on. It's a part of my playlist, my active playlist. Vanishing Point, though, because it's like my home base genre of chill. That's like my favorite so far. Production wise, vocal wise. Um, my mom loves True Love. I love True Love. True Love is a good, and actually, I'm not done with True Love. I have another version coming out, by the way. So I had like three versions of True Love. One was with a rapper by the name of Zeno. That one which has an actual music video too. Then I have a house mix of it that was produced by Main Music. He's located in I think Germany or Hungary. He has to correct me on that one when I talk to him, but he's amazing. And he just saw my song True Love and he's like, "Can I do a remix to it?" I'm like, "Go ahead, go for it." So he did a dope job at that. And then I have the regular single mix of that one. But I do have one, I'm gonna spill a little bit on that one, but it's an Afrobeat remix with that one.
Right.
And that one's, but I'm still working on the touches of, okay, how my rollout on it. I want to make sure the rollout is clean. Because now it's not about just releasing music. Now it's about the rollout. It's about how the song's marketed. So I have to make sure everything is right in this perspective place. But don't be surprised in a few months when that song just boom, True Love, whatever mix is gonna be called. After that's what I'm working on. So and hopefully have a visual, some dancing maybe. We'll see. We'll see. So True Love is that version of True Love happens to be like it's up there, but I can't say it yet because it's not out yet. So, but it's up there in my favorites. But so far, right now, Vanishing Point is my favorite right now. Even though I can't say what song is my favorite because they come from a personal place, but right now, Vanishing Point is just like because it takes me to that place, where I walk myself out of a toxic situation, and I love
Okay.
singing it. I love the sounds of the production. I love the instrumentation. It has the airiness, but it has the heavy beat to it too as well, and it's just there. It's just there. So far it's that with Cruise Control because like I said, they're both siblings. They're like brother and sister, or they need to be in a family somewhere together.
And
So
it's personal to you. Kendra said that
yeah,
True Love is also one of her favorites. And I seen the video with you and Zeno.
yeah,
Beautiful visuals. It's like paradise when the camera pans around and it's rotating. You get
yeah,
to see him do his verse, and then you get to see you do your verse, and then you
yeah,
get to see the what is it like the ivy? I mean,
yeah.
it was
The
everything. It was
Ivy,
very good.
yeah.
Yes.
Dope. Yeah, that was a good. We shot that video in during COVID. I actually have a behind the scenes video as well on my YouTube page. My mom is in it. My makeup artist and my friend recorded his name is Khalil Kavan. He video recorded the behind the scenes. Who's very talented as well. It was such a great project and a great commodity of people working on that set. Lovestown Studio, Donnie Klang, he helped me get that together as well. But it was such an amazing. I haven't done a full music video in a while, and I missed that about it. I missed the rush, the creativity. Okay, we're gonna get this together, and I can't wait. When I have the decent amount of funding and or backing to do another one, which I'm leaning to do another True Love, like the remix one. But we'll see. We'll see because then I have Vanishing Point and Cruise Control, which I want to do visuals too. Oh my God, I already have the storyboard of those two songs. I wonder how I'm gonna visualize it on video. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah,
I can't wait. And Deshaun says, okay, everybody's expecting it. The anticipation. You're getting
yeah,
so much love in the comments, and people are coming in and engaging because your music is inviting. It's like, come on in. I'm good. I'm safe. I'm relaxing. And watching you performing live in front of a crowd is just like, okay, it's like a cafe setting where the light is dim. That's my type of environment, like a jazz club type environment. And then you are literally pouring your heart out on stage to these audience members, and they're feeling it.
right.
That's power.
Yeah,
That's impact.
very much so. Very much so. Very important. Yeah, that's the goal for me. Is really impact the ear and people in a good way. whether they're getting out of something or they're figuring things out or they're in a place where they just want to be flowy and airy. I want to have to support that as well. So yeah,
And Deshaun says, "Did you ever make dance music
I
before? Would you ever make
have,
dance?"
I have, and I will actually. I have an EP called In the Mix that's all EDM music. It's I want to call it it's an experimental album only because it was my first time really delving into it. I don't think I perfected that genre just yet, but I'm working towards that in the future because I have a friend who has a connect in Atlantic Records who wants to work with me on dance some house music. So that's
Right.
something brewing there a bit, and looking forward to that, seeing where that goes when if that happens. But I do love dance music, and I hope to the realm of dance, EDM, trance music, electronic music, and of course Afrobeat. Like Afrobeat, like my she's becoming my friend. She's really cool. Her name is Danielle Diaz. She released a song, and she wants to collaborate with me, and we're working on Afrobeat as well. And I'm like, okay, I have to do an Afrobeat because every time I go to the club, I hear Afrobeat, I go off. I'm like, yeah, hey, let's go, So I have to have my voice on an Afrobeat, a few Afrobeat tracks. So that's probably the next type of music I'm gonna do.
And what I love about you, you mentioned you referenced Janet Jackson, the Velvet Rope album. Every artist comes out with a different sound, and we touched on this in I think our first interview. And I want other people to get it as well too. When you're going into whatever album, you come out with one particular sound. The audience resonates with that sound. And then as you're going into maybe your sophomore album, the sound gets a little different. What I love about you is that you manage to incorporate guitars and you sometimes do acoustics. And I can hear all of these different instruments in the background playing when I'm listening to literally your song or a Kendra or a Janet or a Maya or who else? Or Sade or Shante. You guys love guitars. And I hear it.
Yeah.
And you guys have to pick up on that in the background. So if you had to choose out of any instrument, if you could play one instrument or have one instrument incorporated into one of your songs, what would it be?
Oh, guitar, through and
Oh,
through. Guitar is like my weakness. Like every time I hear a guitar riff, like my guitarist, I work with him. Me and him became really close friends. And if you see in the videos of the live performances of him playing with me, that's like he's like my dog. Like that's like my bro. Like him and I, he's a kindred spirit. He's a Scorpio, I'm a Pisces. Like we just like boom. But whenever he plays guitar and whenever he goes off, I'm like I just melt. I'm like, oh my God. Like I wish I could play, he's so amazing, so talented, and I'm always inspired by guitar, people who could play guitar, and they just like another guy. His name is Jesse Viola. I recently worked on his song "Thinking About Love," which I performed 2 weekends ago, and it's on my Instagram. That he plays guitar, and when he plays and he goes off, I'm like, damn, he's ripping on that guitar. It's like you feel it in your soul, like you just like So I love guitar. I just go, I melt. It's so romantic. It's so emotional. It just takes you to places, just the frequency, the vibration you feel. It's
and
unreal.
it's sultry. It's sultry, and
Very sultry. So,
they're always saying that it's a good guitar riff that makes the music have some edge to it. If it's not that, then it's the percussion. If it's not the percussion, then it's the
yep.
drums
The
or the
bass.
bass, the
Whew.
banjo.
Yeah.
Anything in the music just does something to you,
Yeah.
and you listen to it. The listeners, we catch it in the
You
background. So,
do. Yeah. Another a good bass line on a song will get my attention for sure. Like, if anything, I focused on a lot on guitar and the bass line, and then comes the kick, then comes the other things like they call it the ear candy stuff. So yeah, yep.
and it's a play on that. We hear it in the background. Also, the piano or the
Mhm.
violin, the anything we can hear that in the background.
Right.
But what I love about you is you infuse all of them. And I don't like putting artists in a category. Prince didn't even like being put in a category to be
Mm.
exact. But you incorporate everything, a little bit of everything. It's like a gumbo. You incorporate hip hop, you incorporate R&B, you incorporate soul, you incorporate all of these different genres, and you combine them together,
Yep.
and it blends beautifully. That's what makes a gumbo is you're gonna have different spices, different elements, and
Mm,
you incorporate that into your music.
thank you. Thank you for noticing. Appreciate that. That's the whole, that's,
Absolutely.
yeah, like a swirl. Swirl it all together.
And it mixes and it blends perfectly. And Kendra says Phil is the truth. They are just showering you with love in the comments and they're engaged in the conversation, which is
Thank
great
you.
because we are all music lovers in here. And through these crazy times that we're having,
Oh my
it's imperative
gosh.
that we put on some music and get us through. You never know what a song can do. Um, just a few minutes ago, who was I listening to? Who was I listening to? A few minutes ago. I forgot just that fast. Jody Watley. It was Jody
Hmm.
Watley, and she just does something to me. You've mentioned EDM and dance. She's gotten so many remixes. You've got so many remixes, and so many other genres of music where you've remixed of your own. It resonates with the audience. It makes you want to get up and dance and
Yeah.
feel happy. You know, that's what music is supposed to do. So even through the craziest of times, you put on that one song. And the one song that she has is called Clouds.
Mhm.
And she remixed it. So there's a remix version to it. There's the original, and then there's the remix version to it. And it's very
Okay.
mid tempo, very soothing, very relaxing. It's called Clouds by Jody Watley. And it's one of my favorites. I play it every time when I'm doing my little notes. So
Nice.
again, everybody has a singer. Speak of the devil, I just mentioned him, and his EP drops tomorrow. Got
Oh,
love.
yeah,
Well, at
Vontae,
midnight
what's going
tonight. Yes,
on? He's doing his
all
thing
of this
thing.
love that you're getting in the comments. How are you taking it, and how are you feeling right
No,
now?
I feel great. It's really amazing to get the love and support, as I do urge to support and support each other, other artists to artists or fans to artists, or even vice versa. Like whatever industry you're in or whatever profession, just support each other and just so that you guys care, or it may be a different work or type of work, but still show love because that means a lot. It does. It really does. Whether it's small or large, any amount of support, and you'd be surprised. Like people think, oh, you have this many followers and you don't need this support. You don't need to you don't need to be shouted out, but we do because we want to know that you enjoy what we do, and especially music, that comes from our soul, that comes from within us, and it's a vulnerable place. So when you say you appreciate us, or you say that you show love for us or for our music, that really hits another spot. It's not a way of gassing us up or putting us on a pedestal. It's more of a hug. It's a spiritual hug. It's a
Yes,
spiritual hug state, and that's what we need as artists because it does take a lot of work. Sometimes finances to get the stuff that put the stuff that we do out, and to have someone say back like, "Oh, this is really cool. Oh, this is nice." That's like a hug. Even if you're not here, you can't get. It's a spiritual hug. So it's appreciated. I really, all everyone who supports me and shows me love. Thank you so much. Keep doing it because you're inspiring me to do more and not stopping, and that's just what it is. It's like a synergy of love, and I want to continue that as well and give back and support other artists and whatnot. So I appreciate it. I really feel good about the support.
now, when Vontae was here, I'm gonna go back for a minute for what you just said. Even with putting music out, Kendra just said it in the comment as well too. Even with gigging, for any independent artist, you are literally having to dig out of your pocket and pay for everything, promotion, everything. It's a lot that is deeply invested in it, and I remember touching on that with Vontae as well as Stephen Voice, who's also an independent artist as well too.
A great
And
independent
you have to
artist
do it. There's
that
no label pushing you behind the machine
no,
doing it. You're doing this out of your own pockets. So it's a
yeah.
lot that goes into it.
Yeah, it's like a lot of energy. It's like, and two, you're your own team, so you have to like switch gears a lot, and it's hard because you get so focused on one thing, and you want to make sure that part is perfected. Whether it's the marketing, whether it's the visuals, like taking pictures. For me personally, I'm doing a lot of visual stuff too. I'm taking pictures. I'm figuring out outfits to wear. Then, of course, even down to like me video having clips of me practicing and rehearsing That takes time too, but it's fun for me because I love sharing. I love sharing visuals and a part of myself that's more relaxing but involved with music because it people get to know me a little bit better, you know, because I'm still an introvert, extrovert, introvert. So I like to show just the side of my music with me involved in it. And then two, my visuals of me taking pictures, you know, that's energy. Like I have to wake up 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, because I'm like, okay, it's time for me to do this round of photos for the gram or for Facebook or for TikTok, you know takes energy, even though I'm probably saving more money because I don't have a whole team, but it's still taxing on energy because by the afternoon, I'm like, okay, I'm tired, I need a nap, But at the same time, it's all for a bigger, it's all for a bigger and greater purpose for me personally because I love what I do. I love being I love being in entertainment. I love creating visuals and expressing myself as an artist, whether it's in picture form, music form, video form. And I had to get to here. I wasn't like this all the time. Like it took me like maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I got comfortable with the amount of stuff that I'm
Wow.
doing now. It wasn't just like I wasn't like this all the time. It really, I want to say before the pandemic, I was just getting in the momentum of, okay, this is what I have to do as an artist. I have to do this, I have to do that. And then the pandemic hit, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I'm just getting here. So then I had to hit reset because I kind of was, that's when I got in a relationship with whoever that was. I'm not going to mention the name. And I kind of got sidetracked a little bit. But then I got which helped me really get focused back in myself to really get back into my purpose, which is music. And I said, you know what? Devil's a liar. I'm sticking right back to my purpose, and I'm going to go head in, and not lose focus. So that's where I'm here right now. And it does take, like Avante said, it takes a lot of energy, money, you know, it's a lot of moving parts, but like I said before, when people appreciate it and people show love, it's like, you know what? It's worth it though. It's worth it. So, yeah.
And they're saying the same exact thing. Kendra just said that. She said it's frustrating, but in the end, it's all worth it for your fans and Dream.
Yeah.
And K2 says that Kendra, Phil, and Vontae are all a breath of fresh air to me. And I
Oh,
told them all that you
thank you.
guys are like the breath of fresh air that we needed. And Vontae says, keep doing your thing, Phil. Proud of you, man. Love all that you do. You are very inspiring.
Thank you, Vontae. Oh, thank you. Flattered, always flattered, by everybody's love and support. And I want to do the same for y'all, So, um, I'm here. I'm definitely here. So I'm glad I'm blessed. I'm grateful that I'm healthy enough to do what I do and keep on doing it. And that's helping the world in some sort or helping an individual, then I'm doing my job. So that's 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 it.
Absolutely. And yes, brother, me and K Tubes have done several collaborations together. It's not competition. And that's what a lot of people think with a lot of artists is competition. It's just like, no, we support each other. We
Hmm.
uplift each other at the same time when we're passionate about a dream. And especially we all can relate doing this independently. It's not a machine or Vontae said this, a machine that is backing you. We are
Hmm.
backing ourselves. We're having to
Hmm.
do it ourselves. And it takes a lot, like you said, getting up five and setting up for photo shoots and things. You don't have a team, you're doing all of this on your own.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. And I have to realize that. And Kendra
Yeah.
just said it, what I was about to say, which is we can all eat at the same table. It's enough room for
Boom.
everybody. But everybody has, again, it goes back to that gumbo. We all have our different spice. We all bring different spices
Hmm.
that we can provide to the gumbo.
Hmm.
So it's amazing.
Definitely is. Definitely is. We can eat, we can drink, we can laugh at the same table, we can talk, we can cry, we can just emote. And I think that's the beauty in being open to really share is that's you can see what everyone is where they are in their place in their life. And it's like, oh, you're not alone. We're not alone. We're in it together too. Even though we're living separate lives, oh, we're all dealing and we're all finding our way, you know? And at least we're being honest about it, and that's how I see it, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. Do we have any questions for myself or Phil Fashion Dolls? The conversation is so good, and I'm glad that you guys are all engaged. We are talking music today and the impact and the power of music because right now, in this crazy state of world that we're in times of uncertainty, we have to celebrate, like Kendra said, and pour into each
Celebrate,
other.
yep.
Make sure that we are taking time for ourselves. Music is a feeling, as back again said earlier, it's a feeling. You put on a song and it makes you feel a certain way, or you could be going through your darkest days and you put on that one particular song and that song uplifts you and brings you right back up. And even as a writer, because I do a lot of writing, I'm an avid reader and I'm an avid writer. I write a lot. Even with that, writing in your journal, penning down your thoughts, whatever it may be, and then you go back and you read it to yourself and was like, okay, what was I thinking this day? What was I thinking the day before? What could I have done different? All of these emotions, all of these thoughts, all of these different things you're processing, you're putting it down on paper. And once you release it, it's like, in a way to me, it's like releasing a poison.
Mm,
It's like releasing a poison. There's something you got built up inside of you. You're releasing that
wow.
and you're putting it on paper. For me, it's therapeutic. And I find the most inspiration from just scenery or taking a walk or doing anything in my everyday activities. And it comes to me and I just put it down on paper. So for any artist out here, you know about writing, it does something. It helps you get it out. Whatever you've got repressed inside of you, it helps you get it out in some sort of way. Because if we keep that bottled up inside, it's just like a muzzle over your mouth, and you just want to pull that muzzle off. And it's like, I gotta say something. I
Mm,
want to say something. I gotta feel it. So,
sweet. Love it. All of that. You just preached
mhm.
right there.
Amen on writing, sister. I'm always writing myself too. Yes, it's therapeutic, and I know I do it every single day. Every single day, I'm always writing something down. I stay in a book, or I stay in a journal or a notebook of some sort. I'm always writing little things down,
Nice.
all of my feelings,
What did you
everything.
write about today? I'm curious. What did you write about today?
I didn't do it today.
I
I
didn't.
always do it after my show
Oh,
when I'm in my downtown.
got
But
you.
I do keep a journal, and I have several journals around here in my room. And I always go back to the older ones, and I'm reflecting like, okay, what was I thinking during this time or this
Mm-hmm.
year? So I keep journals,
Sweet.
and I have them organized so that I can remember. Okay, I was had this one this way, and this day, and this day. So I always try to keep everything organized. But I know after the show, I'm definitely gonna write. I was looking to see if I had it up here. It's somewhere up there. But yeah, I'm always in a notebook.
That's
I'm always
awesome.
writing in
I
a
love it.
composition notebook. My mom does too, and if not, the composition that she has the old school spiral notebooks. We all know about them when
Oh,
we're
yes,
going
we
to
do.
school
Oh
with
my
the leaf
gosh.
paper on the side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes,
Oh, brings back memories.
it's stationary. If not that, then stationary. You guys wouldn't know how much stationary I invest in, but I'm always writing a note or sticking a note somewhere, just a reminder, an affirmation of some sort. So yeah.
That's good. Very, very healthy for the mind. Keeps you on track, keeps things, okay, I gotta do this, boom. Good reminder, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Fashion dolls, do we have any more questions for myself or Vante? This conversation is therapeutic, and I hope you guys all are taking something away from just what we talked about today, which is music, the feeling of music, and how it impacts us in dark times, emotions, all of that, and so much more. It's imperative that we continue to keep ourselves grounded spiritually and centered as well too. We stay grounded and centered
Amen.
in these dark times, and music helps us with that. So again, I'm always quoting Nina Simone because it's just like she's ahead of her
For
time as it
sure.
pertains to music. And thank you, Deshaun. Yes, I always try to provide an escape for you guys in these crazy times that we're having. My brother K Tooks wants to know which artist or artists are you feeling currently out right?
Me, so I love Doja Cat. Doja Cat is been, I've been on her for a minute and still am. I just love her creativity. I love her vision. Um, Snow Allegra, she's another one. Um, Tinashe, love Tinashe, my girl. Um, who else? Those three so far, I can off the top of my head, I can say, okay, those like that are like popular in on the charts. Those three I can really think about. Oh, and Mario just came out with a song not too long ago, because one of his songs I put on repeat. I posted on my Instagram. It's called "A Fatal Distraction." It's an older song, um but he's another good one that I like his stuff. He's a vibe. He's a vibe. Not to mention he's very attractive, but he's a total vibe. um, so yeah, those three so far. Chris Brown too. His whole album, his recent album was crazy. That was such a good album. But that so far, that's what I'm really feeling right now. Recently, as of recent. Oh no, no, no! I cannot forget this person at all because she's on my like 5 playlists that I created. Normani, Normani Dopamine. That album for me, like all yours, lights out, take your time, what is it, candy paint? Jesus. I mean, people saying her album is not doing well. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like her album is dope. Like I think she's kind of like going chill with it. She's not going crazy on the marketing because I think she has a bigger plan. I think in my mind, she has a bigger plan. So she's just giving everybody the album because they've been waiting, but I think something else is coming. So I'm like rooting for her, and I'm looking forward to her growth from here. But Normani's Dopamine album was like, it's up there for me. So that's that. There's a few other songs that I can name, but a lot of the artists too, they're like underground-ish. No one really knows them. Um, but their music is just so solid. So that's what I've been listening to lately. Yeah.
And I'm reading you guys' oh Lord. I have to report on that after the show. I just seen it. We in a good vibe right now. I have to report on it after the show, y'all. Lord have mercy. They are crazy. Um, I love it after a stressful day from work. And look what I found. This is my journal.
Nice. That's
I
pretty.
haven't put anything on for, let's see, today is the 12th. I haven't put anything on there yet, y'all.
Oh, it's a
So
space though. It's a space for ready.
yes, I will definitely be jotting down my thoughts in my journal right here. My imaginary husband, Chris Breezy, Durand. I listen to all I listen to is underground music. Yes, and I think that it is so many artists underground, up and coming. What do you think about the next generation of up and coming independent artists? There's so many out
It's
here
a
that are
lot. It's
underground.
so saturated. And I'm excited though because like I was between Kendra and Danielle, like they're up and coming. Like, and I'm still up and coming in my view. I'm not I'm not popular, but I love it because I can really there's no you have to go through this manager, you have to go through that manager, you have to go. I love the fact that I can just go directly to the person and get their vibe and get the genuine energy of where they're coming from. And then
Yeah.
we can fiddle through and be artistic a little bit and just delve into the art of creation. So I'm for it. I think it's there's space for everybody to be successful. It's just knowing your market. That's what it comes down to. Knowing your market, your demographic. If you can get it popping overseas in Brazil, France, Italy, England, Australia, then get it popping overseas, and that's
Oh yeah.
possible. That's so possible. So, um, yeah, I love it. I really do. I really do because, yeah, it makes for a landscape that's more adventurous. I feel like, you know.
And,
So
and
yeah.
Kendra says that you're at the door, babe. Each and every artist has solidified themselves in some sort of way. You have your lane. Vontae has his lane. Kendra has her lane. So
Mhm.
you guys are icons in your own right.
Yeah.
You guys might not say, "Oh, hey, I might have not made it," but you guys are icons in my eyes
Oh,
because you've each solidified yourself in your own way. And yes, overseas is where you actually get started, which is
right.
crazy. There are a lot of
Yep.
artists that are in the United States of America that said, okay, let me take my music over here. If it's not doing what it's supposed to do over here, let me take it over here and take it a step further.
Exactly.
And they see the difference. Being the beauty of being an independent artist is that you are able to have range and go from city to city, county to county, country to country, and make an impact and let your voice be heard. And they enjoy it. No matter what
Yeah.
it may be. If you're doing a cover of Sade, we touched a lot on Sade and her music and her impact in today's show. You could
Mhm.
be doing a cover of Michael Jackson,
Right.
and it resonates with the people. I told you guys about Mark Angel and what he did when I did my interview with him. I wanted him to do the whole song though. He broke out. You guys know that one of my favorite Michael Jackson albums is the Off the Wall album. This is where he kind of branched off after the Jackson Five with his brothers, and Michael was coming into his manhood. I Can't Help It is one of my favorite Michael songs.
Mhm.
So he broke out and he gave me a snippet of it. I was like, no, don't stop now, Mark. Finish the whole song. So again, impact, intent, it brings joy to people, and I love it.
Fact. I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, and one more artist I want to put on notice that I do listen to lately, and she's from overseas. Her name's Laureen. If
Mm,
anybody get a chance to listen to her name, she's actually she's trending really good because she came out with a song. What's the song called? I I'm drawing a blank, but a tattoo. And her voice, her whole aesthetic is fire. And but her voice, Laureen, she just goes places. And another song she has is called "Is It Love," and I would love to work with her someday too. So that's another artist that's like I'm listening to right now. But yeah.
It's incredible that we have all of these artists that are coming out right now and they're creating their own lane and not trying to sound like anybody else.
Hmm.
Everybody is carving out their own path, and it's about originality. So the audience even is agreeing with that. They're saying that I need to look her up, Phil, and that's dope. So continue to support all of these up and coming independent music artists out here because trust me, even with me being the host of this platform, everything is coming out of my pockets. I'm doing this. I'm setting up these interviews and I'm doing it by myself. So I don't have a whole team behind me. So I understand independently what it is
Hmm.
like to have to do it and give people amazing content or great interviews, which is on the other side. But for artists out here, independent artists, it takes a lot because you're having to invest into equipment. I remember Vontae for his single before Euphoria, he had to he gave us a behind the scenes like you did, Phil, with shooting the cover for Euphoria. He shot it. I would have thought the professional photographer shot it. He shot it himself.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
he set the whole thing up. So it takes a lot that goes into putting your artistry out here to the people, us, the consumers, the viewers,
Yep.
or the listeners. It's a lot. So make sure that you guys are supporting independent artists out here. So is being independent like doing being independent like doing your own show, Miss Stevie? I also, yes, you do. My brother K Toops does as well too, and he has his platforms, and he's doing this independently, funding everything independently. So
Hmm.
make sure that you are giving credit to all of these independent artists out here. Their businesses is sort of like running a small owned businesses.
Hmm.
You are your brand, you are your tool, you are marketing yourself out here to the people, and the way my brother K Toops choose to market himself is different, and how I choose to market myself is different. So everyone has their own way, their own strategy of going about to set up their artistry and distribute it to the people. Because it's just like the mass consumers. You go into a store or you go into a coffee shop, let's just say Starbucks. Starbucks,
Hmm.
whenever they put out something, we see it right here scrolling down the gram that they got a new drink, a new boba tea, or whatever it is that they are promoting. So it's all about promoting yourself and marketing yourself and getting it out there. And how I chose to market myself when I first started, I was a bit of a tomboy. I was a bit of a tomboy. I was always in pantsuits. But then I said, okay, shout outs to my girl Rage.
Hmm.
if if it wasn't for her, she made me change up my style. She's like, okay, girl, you got to do something different. Because when I first started, one thing I was known for was that damn blonde mohawk. And I said, okay. She's like, okay, you got to give up the 613 Mohawk girl. Give us something different. Your audience is going to be like, give us something different, but they're going to stay tuned in.
Hmm.
But I took her advice. And once I took her advice, it helped. I seen more viewership. The style started changing. The glamour started changing. I started taking more constructive criticism. And throughout the years, you guys have seen the progression with my looks, with the interviews, with the different changes, all of these different things aesthetic wise. It's important that you keep doing that. And that's why I brought up Janet Jackson, who we all love to hear, because every one of Janet's album, and I just got through watching something. She did something with British Vogue where she was going through her looks throughout her career. And she says, let me tell you, I always change up my hair. I like to get bored. The same here. I get bored. Rihanna said it too. I get bored. I love to change up my look. I don't like to stay the same. We're in season 18 now. Season 19 is going to be even more revolutionary. So that means I'm going to push the envelope even more over the top couture fashion. So who knows what I'm going to be doing next season? So, or what this backdrop or anything is going to look like. I'm always reinventing myself. And as artists, it's important that we continue to reinvent yourself. It's costly, but it's so worth it because I love the anticipation. And for all of us as artists, we love the anticipation. We love what our viewers or our listeners are wanting. And I want more Phil Loft. I want me some Phil Loft in my life. I want me some Kendra in my life. I want me some Vontae in my life. I want to see what is coming next from each artist. And that's what's important, is that we keep delivering the good product out here. So to any independent artist out here who's feeling discouraged, like, should I put this out? Go ahead and put it out. Put it out. You never know. Go for it. Leap and jump. Let me read some of you guys' comments. Yeah, you do be changing. Oh, you're talking about the shag. Yeah. That Tony Braxton was definitely the inspiration for yesterday's look. And I went with a darker lip color. As you guys can see, today is more clear and transparent. But I wanted something that was more mature, that was more sexy and polished. And I said, for the fall, winter months, velvet would do it. So I said, let's go ahead with the shag. Let's break out the shag. And the picture that I posted of Tony yesterday, that was the hair inspiration. So who knows what it's going to look like tomorrow when I do my interview with Don Carl Harper. It could be blonde, it could be green, it could be blue. You got to stay tuned. And I told my girlfriend this. She said, girl, why you change your hair so much? I said, I don't like to stay the same. And it's so fun. It's so much fun. It's like a kid in a candy store. You got all these different candies and you don't know which one you want to take home with you. And I have so much fun going through my closet every day, being like, okay, this is what I want to wear. This is what I want to look. So it's, even with that aspect of it, as an artist, you got to experiment and change, because the audience it'll kind of throw the audience for a loop, but they'll soon get it and they'll like it. So it's distributed to the masses.
Hey.
And my brother K2 said that you guys are invited to his show. Kendra, Phil, and Vontae are all welcome and invited.
Yes. Let me know. Let me know. I'm there, sir. I am there. I love doing this stuff. So awesome.
And Deshaun, you and Bubs are paying attention. Y'all see, I always change it up. I don't stay the same. And that's what it's about as artists. We got to. Think about the future and you got to reflect those times. Like Nina Simone said, you got to reflect those times. And I try to reflect whatever mood that I'm feeling or whatever the world is feeling. And for me, for this season, I wanted cyber collective. I wanted over the top glamour. Whereas the previous season 17, and I think that's when I did my interview with Phil, it was very muted. It was very, how can I say, it was very buttoned up, but still classy and sexy. But this season, I just said, to hell with it. Let's just go all the way.
Turn it up.
Let's go intergalactic. Kenyon L. O'Brien came in here, and he said the same thing when I did my interview with him. He just like, what hair is she going to give me today? That was the first question he asked. I came in with the eye jewels. You guys remember when I did the interview with Tika and Kenyon, I had the eye jewels. I said, let's go over the top with makeup. Let's go crazy with it. So I had the eye jewels and I had platinum blonde hair. I mean, the hair was almost close to the color of what I'm wearing today, which is like a silvery type blonde. So I went over the top with it. Loved it. Wore patent leather. I said, hey, let's go crazy.
Yeah.
Fashion is about experimenting. And your artistry is about experimenting.
Yep.
And I'm pretty upset. Y'all know where I'm going with this. Our girl didn't receive a CMA award for Cowboy Carter.
Yeah.
I was pretty disappointed with that. So see, it kind of threw the audience for a loop that she was going. The first part of that album The first part of Act One was more so like Phil mentioned EDM house music more so, or R&B. The second part was country, but it wasn't a you know the style of country music that we're used to listening to, which is sad or somber.
Hmm.
She put a twist on
She
it.
did.
She should have earned a CMA award, but we know why. Y'all didn't think I was going to talk about it, but I
I'm glad you
touched on
did.
it in my stories.
I'm
I
glad you
was
did.
very upset. And then she performed at the CMT Awards. And we know how country music is.
Hmm.
Let's be real. We know how this music genre is. It's like Smokey Robinson said it best. No matter what genre of music she does, it's her choice.
Right.
It's her choice. And an artist has their options and choices of being able to go from different music genres and categories. I was kind of reluctant on it too. I'm not gonna lie. But when I listen to some of the songs on the album, whether it's Hand to Hand and then Tyrant, she put her own spin onto it. I've never seen a black woman in country music do this, except
Yeah.
for Rosetta Tharpe, who was one of the first black women to do country music. So to be able to put hip hop and R&B into country music, and they're playing it on radio airwaves, which she did get airplay for,
Yes, she did.
she should have received a nomination for this piece of work because the visuals when she dropped them, I mean, with her in the rope, the aesthetic,
Mm,
it tied in perfectly. Every press tour that she did
mm.
for this album, she matched the aesthetic of her album.
Yeah. They mad
The cowboy
though. They mad. They was
blinged out
so
everything.
mad. Yo, the fact that she did all of that, like she had it down in patent, they were just mad because they know that she had it down. They didn't want to give it up, but it's okay. Look at her, she's still winning. She's still winning at the end of the day, at the end of the night. She's gonna still be winning. She's gonna be still selling out stadiums, okay? In all countries, in all countries. So
Her
um, she, honest, even with the Grammys, that whole situation where she wasn't really getting the much recognition there, and it just now coming around to like giving her something, and it's like, you know what? Like at this point, we we not to say that we need to focus on something better or different, but freak them Grammys, freak them CMTs, freak them whatever. We don't need awards. The award is the people who are embracing us and who are coming to our shows and really being our stands. Those our stands are our awards. You know what I'm saying? Because it's nice to have an award or two and be recognized. Okay, that's cute. That's nice. But at the same time, we're 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 better than that. We're a little better than that. Um, it's cool and all, but and this is my perception. My award is the people who are enjoying my music, who are coming to my
come
shows,
on,
who are just embracing my sounds and playing it even when I'm dead. They're still talking about I'm spoken about when I'm not around. And that's it. That's all. So I'll leave it at that, because sometimes you got to ignore like things like the CMTs and the Grammys, and then they'll look. The funny is they'll come back around like, oh, well, da, 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 da. And you be like, I was ignoring you, girl, for like the longest. Now you want my attention? Okay, well, I'll give you this little bit of attention. I'll come in cute and demure and mindful, and you keep it like that. But sometimes you have to do that, But you can do it your own way, your own success, and that be that. Legacy. Boom, leaving a legacy, just like Kendra said, you
and
know?
we touch on that a lot on this
Yeah.
platform. Kingen, make sure you guys go and check out the season of Talks with myself, omeprotv.co. Make sure you go and check it out. And Triangle, which is a highly anticipated show, you guys need to go and check it out. So if you like Empire, if you like all the shows that focus on the black mob or mafia families who try to cover up and conceal their dirty secrets, then you will love. So y'all need to go and check that out. He says that she missed the deadline for nomination. That sucks. And I'm gonna also go back to what Phil just said, which is we don't need award shows to validate it. So Dina Howard said the same exact thing. She said that we are submitting our work for them to judge our work when it's the people, the listeners who love our work. And I think it's the people that should be able to decide. Just like with the VMAs that happened yesterday. Um, the people, the viewers should be able to decide the awards, not,
Right.
the overall.
Right.
And that's important that the people, because your music impacts the people.
Right.
Yes, you're going to have constructive criticism, even in the fashion world.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm having to submit my designs to New York Fashion Week if I'm a designer, which I have thoughts of getting into fashion design, but I'm having to submit my designs so that they can showcase it. No, I'm gonna go ahead and showcase it on my way,
Boom.
put my show together.
Yep.
Well, sometimes you got to take the initiative and do it on your own. If they're not willing to give you a seat at the table in any establishment, you have to go and take the opportunity to create your own. And that's even with these award shows. Yes, it's beautiful to receive these award and things, but at the same time, I'm sensitive about my shit, if that makes sense.
Boom. Boom.
So I think it should be the people overall deciding, not the academy or any overall.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that sucks. I hate that. I when I seen the news break that she did not receive any CMA awards, I'm like, wait, what? She should have been nominated.
That's
But
true.
it happens. Cut somebody some slack. Sometimes you miss the deadline or whatever, but still put her up for a nomination. You could have even had her perform there, if that makes sense,
Come
to
on.
make up for the CMTs because yeah, the racism was very, 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 very
Yeah.
CMT awards, and that's unfortunate in this music business. We're fighting it right now in real time, but I'm glad it's now at the forefront because we as the artists we can push back, and I can give you a list of artists who have fought back against racism who are no longer here. As I mentioned, Nina Simone is one. Uh, who's another one? Mahalia Jackson is
Hmm.
another one. Eartha Kitt, Diane
That's,
Carroll, who were no longer here, Josephine Baker, they all were a part of the
yeah.
resistance. They pushed back. So Kenya says she was 3 months late. She wasn't worried about them. And did you guys see the GQ cover spread? Now that's an award. She looks like an award.
Yeah.
So she came back and she said,
Yep.
y'all, I didn't have time to submit my awards or whatever, and y'all snubbed me. But hey, I'm gonna give y'all the sickening cover. And
Boom.
that she did. Amazing.
Boom.
So there we go, Fashion Dolls. We covered the whole show today has been dedicated to music. We went over an hour, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. But before we close out, because we could talk music all day, um, Phil, final thoughts to artists out here, independent artists. What are some thoughts that you would give them, or just gems that you would give to other up and coming independent artists? Because it's like Vontae said in the comments, it's so many.
Right. Right. Final thought. Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep perfecting your craft. Keep going. Keep creating. Keep taking inspiration because you never know where your inspiration is going to come from, whether it's another genre of music, another type of artist. That's what I find with myself. I just keep myself open to new genres and new artists, and you grab inspiration from that. So just keep your mind open to new inspirations and new motivations, and just don't stop. Don't stop. If it's in you, if you feel, put it to you like this: if you feel guilty for not doing it, then you're supposed to do it. So keep doing it. When you walk away from something for too long and you're like, I really should be doing this, then you should do it. You should do it. So never stop. If it's in your true purpose, whether it's painting, whether it's building houses, interior designing, creating stuff for cars, or anything, if it's music, if it's in you, it's gonna remind you you should be doing this. And that's it.
All right, Fashion Dolls, and today's final thought comes from Adam Clayton Powell Jr., and he says this: press forward at all times, climbing forward toward that higher ground on the harmonious state that shapes the laws of a man to the laws of God. We got to press forward. And that means we need to move forward in our careers, in our endeavors, and whatever that sets our soul on fire. I tell you guys to live life through fire, which is meaning to go after your passions, your endeavors. And that just sums up what Phil says as well, too. If you are an independent artist and music is your passion and your dream, or fashion is your passion, there's so many courses. And he also brought up the pandemic. Phil also brought up the pandemic because remember when things were shut down, y'all?
Mm.
And we, even if you were working and TV. I was pretty upset, Kenyon, if you still here, that they were still filming Triangle, and then the Triangle took a hiatus. And I remember Kenyon touched on that when we did our interview. But the pandemic affected us so much. But look at how the world is now. We're back out here doing what we love, which is performing, which is creating, which is giving people art. We're doing what we're passionate about. So press forward. As Kamala Harris, who is our hopefully our next president of
Mm.
the United States,
Auntie
praise
K.
God.
Auntie K.
Yes, she says we are moving on to the next chapter. And that not only means just, the country, but in our careers, we want to move on to the next chapter as well. So we want to think about what is going to be the next phase of our career. What is going to be next? Do I want to perform more? Do I want to help other artists? All of these things, if you are a musician out here. And I know for me, we touched on legacy. The last part of this conversation is on legacy, our conclusion. When you leave a legacy and an impact, when you do something that impacts the people as a whole, your legacy has impacted so many.
Mm-hmm.
And people alone, when we're no longer here, when God calls us home, your legacy has impacted the next generation and the next generation to come. Because I know sitting here doing this show every day, Monday through Friday, it's been consistency. We are almost at 700 episodes, y'all. We are still going. So it's dedication, it's persistence, it's all of these things and then some. That's what it takes to be an amazing artist independently. So I want to close the show with that, Fashion Dolls. And joining me tomorrow, we have Don Carl Harper. So before we let you go, Phil, let everyone know where they can follow you and check you out. And it was so great catching up with you. This is our second interview, y'all.
Yeah, second and more to come because I'll be back. I'll be
Yes.
back. Phil Loft is my Instagram, and Phil Loft you can see my music on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Amazon, all the streaming platforms. Yeah, that's where you can catch all my stuff. So, look forward to releasing more music this year, and more collaborations between Kendra, Danielle, Vontae, hopefully too. Like I'm looking forward to all of the collaborations I'm open to. And we'll see what's going to be brewing. So stay tuned.
All right, I can't wait. Fashion Dolls, Phil Love. I love y'all, and I will see y'all tomorrow with Don Carl Harper. And this will be uploaded to Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube. So head on over and subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified when all new episodes and interviews are posted. I love y'all, and I will see y'all tomorrow, Fashion Dolls. Take care, everyone.
Bye.